I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hello, and welcome to Vets Chatting with Granny Lisa. I'm her co-host, Peggy the Enforcer. Tonight, Granny's going to be interviewing singer-songwriter Stephen Cochran, who's also a U.S. Marine Corps veteran. Let's get Granny in here and see what else she's up to tonight. Hey, Granny, how you doing?
I'm doing great, thank you. I am so excited to be here. I have a little thing there that went off. So I am so happy. We have Stephen Cochran, who is a veteran U.S. Marine and also singer songwriter. And he has agreed to come on and do a live song. And so we have him. And then we also have Bradley, who is our trick tickler. He does our newscast. And so he's going to be on and have an opportunity to meet him. And then we just have Michael. He's our producer who's going to be surprising us with who knows what, right? And then we just have a show packed with just odds and ends. But basically, tonight's the night for all of us to have some fun, laugh, hear some jokes, possibly have some major arguments over certain things. I see that might be happening, but it's all in fun and it's just giving us a break from a lot of the things that are happening in the world, a lot of fears, a lot of insecurities, a lot of illnesses, a lot of things that we're fighting against. But tonight's show for us veterans, we're just going to let it go and hang out and have some fun. So, Peggy, tell me, what has your week been like?
Man, Granny, it has been crazy. The weather here is just, it's been snowing and it's been freezing my ass off. How about there where you're at?
Well, I'm down in southern Texas, so I'm like an hour and a half from Houston. It's cold, but I just moved here from Montana, and Montana right now has a wind chill of negative 58. So I am like so warm in comparison, but they said that we're going to be having this ice thing come through, ice storm. So I'm not really sure what to think of it, but the prepper me, I already got like 4 cases of water. Actually, I got 8. But, I'm ready for it. My kids are ready. I stay with my daughter and her family. And of course, they think I'm a little strange because I'm a little prepper. So we'll see how it comes, the weather. But I want to bring on our newscaster. His name is Bradley Jackson, but he goes by Bradley. What is your name?
My name is Shrek Dickel, coming here for News Live.
I love it. I love it. And you're going to be doing your first newscast next Saturday.
Next Saturday, yes, ma'am. You are correct. We're going to be doing News Live at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Roughly halfway through the hour, about 7:30 or so. We're going to be doing the news. It's going to be, well, fucked. I'm going to be honest. We all know better. It's a Marine doing news. Come on now. I'm going to pick on everybody and I'm going to say stupid things, but it is what it is.
Okay, well, I'm looking forward to it actually because you know what? We all need some kind of news that'll make us laugh.
A little bit of levity in everybody's life is a beautiful thing.
That's exactly it. And I appreciate you coming and doing that for our show because we actually need it. Because as much as I think I'm hilarious, not too many people do, which really shocks me.
Well, you've got the granny effect. Nobody laughs at Granny because Granny whoops your ass.
I am not that kind of a
Oh,
grandma.
Darlene, you know better. Don't argue. You let the young man do the fucking jokes. I'll fucking leave it to me.
All righty. Well, speaking of jokes, we're going to have some jokes. We're going to have some pictures that we're going to be commenting on. But first off, I am so excited because I don't want to cry because I'm so excited. But this young man, he's a combat Marine and he has gone through it, and we'll find out what that means. But he has turned things around so much in his life in such a positive way that not only is blessing him and his family, but is also blessing veterans all over the world. And specifically here in the United States, he's producing music. He goes out live and does concerts. And so I am so excited to introduce Stephen Cochran. He is going to sing his new single, and let's go ahead and bring him on. Stephen, hi, welcome to the
Hey,
show.
thank y'all for having me.
Hey, Stephen.
Appreciate it. It's good to
Well-
see y'all. How you doing, Marie? You're rough.
Hey, oh, I love to hear that.
Or yet kill.
Super food.
Or, yeah.
Well, what is your new song called?
It's called Keep On. Actually, I'll show you my guitar a little bit. We can talk about that a second before I play. So, you'll see a lot like of artists, Willie Nelson, different artists that have their guitars signed.
Right.
Exactly. Trigger. This is my guitar that I've been playing for about 20 years now. And these are all veteran signatures. So, a lot of different country artists will have their heroes in country music sign their guitars. But for me, these are my heroes. And so there's a lot of guys here that we've lost, guys and girls that we've lost to suicide or other things along the way. And so every night that I get to go on stage, it's been branded, it's been stabbed. I don't know if you can see where that's at. Yeah, it's been stabbed. There's a whole knife we kept in there for a long time that we had to take out because the airlines don't like it when you leave knives stuck in your guitars when you
they're a little bit reticent to allow you to bring metal on the plane.
They're like, this doesn't fit in a case. What are you doing here? So, so I get to kind of step on stage with a lot of guys and girls that I consider heroes every night when I get to strap this guitar on and go out and play. And, Keep On is a song that was written in kind of that vein. Back in 2014, one of my closest friends, we played high school football together. We went to college together. And then when it came time after 9/11, we enlisted in the military. I went in the Marine Corps. He went in the Navy. He went through BUDS. I became a reconnaissance scout with 2nd LAR. And so when we came back home after combat, we only lived like a mile away from each other. But I never thought that Matt might have some issues that he needs to talk about. I always thought, hey, Matt's the toughest guy I've always known in high school, college, and the Marine Corps. Matt's got, he's a SEAL. He's got it on his own. If anything, if I had a bad day, I was dumping it on Matt because I thought Matt could take it. And so here I am out, living my dream, touring the world, playing songs to veterans and talking about veteran suicide. But I missed the one sitting right next to me because Matt committed suicide in 2014. And we were actually at his funeral. And a longtime buddy of mine that I went to middle school, played middle school, high school football with all the way up, had said, Steve, you're doing a lot of great stuff, but why haven't you started anything to talk about the veteran suicide epidemic, especially using music? It's a great therapy tool. And so we founded Stop 22 Tour literally that day, me and another Marine and an Army soldier, Vietnam veteran, Sam Tate, who wrote the song If You're Going Through Hell for Rodney Atkins, Moments for Emerson Drive. So, we sat down and we realized that, post-traumatic stress is something that covers all branches of military, but it also covers all eras of military. They've even traced back now to where they can show that the Spartans were dealing with some types of post-traumatic stress. So if you think about a society that was raised, that was bred for combat from the day that they were born, and they experience the effects of what war can bring, what are we supposed to expect when we consider ourselves a warrior society, but yet all the boys and girls in our country have air conditioning and heaters and PlayStations and 2 cars in the driveway, and we're like, oh, you're not rich. Well, guess what? You're daggone rich in all the countries we're fighting. So, to take those boys and girls and give them 3 months of training at the most and send them over to fight these real warrior societies. I mean, Afghanistan's been at war for 3,000 years. It's basically all they know. So to send them over there and say, hey, go over there, fight these real warrior societies with one arm tied behind your back, called the Geneva Convention, and then you're going to come home and you're not going to have any problems with it. That shit don't even make sense when I say it. So it doesn't make sense in thinking that we're going to put it in application. So I just, with Stop 22 Tour, we just wanted guys to start taking some of these things that they're going through, and whether it's a song, a poem, just a letter to yourself, write it down. Start writing it down and getting it out of you. Get it out of you. Any way to get it out of you is another day that's going to help you get better and get back to the person that you want to be. And so songwriting's always been therapy for me. And I wrote this song with a Marine Army veteran. Me, this guy, and Matt, we all went to high school together. We all played high school football together. When I talk about we enlisted, several of us enlisted out of college after 9/11. But this guy was the smart one. He stayed in college a little bit longer and came in commissioned. And so he came in as an Army lieutenant, went on to be a sapper, fought in Iraq, and now he's my producer. So myself and Dr. Michael Hamilton wrote this song called Keep On, about just
all right, gang. I don't know what's going on.
Did you start writing music though? Before you get into the song, we know you're going to be playing your new song here. Did you started making and writing music before the military?
Yeah. See, my dad's a songwriter, so it's the thing is, it's almost like my family has two family businesses. My dad was in the Army. My grandfather was a lifer in the Air Force. My other grandfather was in the Army. We even did a thing where we traced my family lineage back, and there's been a Cochran fight in every war America has ever waged since before we were even a country. So, exactly. And the thing is that if you look up the name, what the meaning of Cochran means, it means battle cry. So my family is patriot to the end, and it's always been, bred into me that there's not many countries in the world that you can go and take a dream like writing songs and turn it into your career. And that's what we've been doing. My dad is a songwriter, so that's what we've been doing for 2 generations of my family now. So anytime this country needs me to stand up and defend it, I'm going to do that. It's given me the opportunity to live my dream. But yeah, I had it's for most Marines, they wanted to be Marine. They have Marines in their family, or they wanted to be Marines most of their lives. I have no Marines. My cousin's a Marine, but I had no Marines directly. I had no ambition to be a Marine. I was going to college to be a songwriter. And then
you went to college to get a music degree.
Yeah, I actually went to college because my dad said I couldn't do music until I had a degree, because he was like, you're going to do something different than what I did. You're going to make sure that you understand the business. So go to school, get your education in business management. That way, when you start signing these contracts, they can't fuck you, because you know right there what they're doing before they do it. So, my dad and mom had a good mindset on, the music business and what they thought that I needed to do to be able to get into it. What they never figured was that I was going to drop out of college and enlist in the Marine Corps and go fight 2 wars. That was not in the game plan, ever. So, and the thing was too, is that, I had never been called to do anything like I felt like I was after 9/11. We watched the towers fall. I was drinking with a group of friends, and we're all sitting there talking about tomorrow we're going to go enlist in the Marine Corps, the Army, and the Navy. And I don't know if I was the only one, but I was the only one that went the next morning to go enlist. And so it was like it's just something that I knew I had to do. Like I was drawn. It was. I was drawn there. And so, one thing that I knew I didn't want to do is I didn't want to Elvis Presley it. If I was going to go in, I was going to go in and fight. I didn't even know when I walked into the Marine Corps recruiting office that there was other jobs in the Marine Corps other than infantry. I thought that's just what the Marine Corps did. Like we just, hey, go kill some stuff that way. Marine Corps, go that way. So I go in and they're like, yeah, we got all these other jobs you can do. And they're showing me legal admin stuff and different things. And I was like every Marine. They finally got to that one where the guys come out of the swamp with the tiger stripe cami paint on. And I was like, that's it. That's it, right? That's what I want to do. And he's like, yeah, no, you're not going to get there. But I was lucky. I came in as an 03 52. I ended up with 2nd Light Armored Reconnaissance as a reconnaissance scout with 2nd LAR. We did the invasion with RCT-1 into Iraq from Kuwait. And then we did the invasion of Helmand Province as part of the 22nd M.E.U. S.O.C. B.L.T. 1-6 to Afghanistan in 2004, where we lost the first Marine that was killed in combat in Afghanistan was Corporal Ron Payne. One of the best men that I've ever known, one of the greatest scouts to ever live. This guy was 6'8", and if you've ever seen the back of an LAV, it's not made for 6'8". I'm a big guy for an LAV, and I'm 6 foot. And so to watch him squeeze himself in the back of an LAV and then pop out and be magic in combat was something
and
else.
It's like clowns coming up in a freaking car.
It is. It scouts out, and then the doors pop, and next thing you know, you just have a bunch of pissed off dudes coming out of the back.
Andre the Giant walk out and just stand up from full squat, 90 degrees.
And that's really how they looked at him. Man, that's how they looked at him in Afghanistan. Was they seen him and they were just like, "Whoa, that's a giant." He was huge. But the big part about Ron's story was not his height, was not how great of a Marine he was. It was how great of a Christian he was. Like he was the man that while we were trying to figure out, what places to get drunk at in Malta on our Libo port, he was trying to figure out how to get a lot of us in a Bible study. And matter of fact, when we surveyed his gear to send it home to his family, he only had one line that he'd really underlined, which was, "Greater hath no love than a man that gives up his life for his friends." So I feel like he truly knew that he was going home and that he was trying to make sure that everybody that was left here understood that. But, and that's how he left this world, was he literally sacrificed himself to save our staff sergeant and another Marine who had been hit. One of his Marines was down as well. So, he gave everything he had to save his men's life. And I'm talking about knowing that he was going to do it. He drew fire away from one of our staff sergeant who was pinned down, who'd been shot in the groin and was bleeding out. So without Ron, there's no doubt in my mind that we would have had 3 dead Marines that night instead of 1 KIA hero, which is I wrote a song when we first came back called "When a Hero Falls" about Ron. And, to this day, it's been 20 years exactly coming up this year since 2004 when he paid the supreme sacrifice for our country. But it's still hard for me to get through playing that song because I can still smell some of the things from that night, and I can see some of the things from that night. And I wasn't even the one on the ground with him. We came in as a QRF, Quick Reaction Force, to help him. But we still, even with our QRF, I think we had 12 scouts on the deck. The LAVs really couldn't fire because they didn't know who was friendly, who was enemy. And if you don't know what an LAV is, it's a light armored vehicle. They've got a 25 millimeter cannon on the top of it. So a 25 millimeter round is bigger than this Pepsi can. I mean, it's about like that. And when it doesn't have to hit you, it can miss you and come this close and it'll rip your whole shoulder and everything out of socket just off the velocity off the round. So, I have to
pocket of air around that round is
right.
Like
it's
concrete.
A truck. Yeah. So a huge thank you to our gunners with LAR who are so proficient that they didn't start laying down rounds and taking a bunch of scouts out on the deck. So they let us handle it. And we got Ron's body back to the L where Staff Sergeant Brian Romans was. And to this day, myself and Staff Sergeant Romans, we continue to work together. Romans started the Romans Warrior Foundation, which houses the Stop 22 tour, which now houses Label 22, which is the first non-for-profit veteran-owned record label in the nation that we just launched. We're launching officially on February 29th here in Nashville. We've got some great artists we're representing, other Marines, Chris Turner, and some great veterans that we're going to be announcing, as well as Caleb Montgomery is one of the artists. And then myself will be releasing some new music, some old music, and a soundtrack coming up on a movie that Hallmark bought the life rights to based upon my life. So we can talk about that. Oh yeah, we can talk about all that.
This guy is working with Hallmark now. My God, you're going to be a Christmas hero. They're going to play your video.
I'll tell you the funniest thing was they tried so hard for a year and a half to make my story a Christmas story. Like they tried everything. I was writing Christmas songs. It was the weirdest shit you've ever seen in your life. And the joke is,
they make all their money in Christmas season. Come on.
Yeah.
Now,
well, it was, thank God, the new writer that they hired, her name's Julie Wolfe. And she finally went to him and she was like, "Look, I keep trying to make a 4th of July movie, a Christmas movie. and this ain't working. This has got to be like a summer 4th of July movie. All concerts are outside in the summertime. They don't have indoor concerts like this that you're trying to put on. So it was really Julie Wolfe who talked Hallmark into understanding how country music works and, you know, what our summer schedules look like for touring and stuff. So,
well, I'm excited.
All right.
I really am. And you know what? I want to learn more about your 22 because I would love to have Vets Coming Clean be a part of that and be a part of that movement. I personally have, my husband is PTSD and committed death by suicide. So I have a personal goal in that. And so, yes, I am so glad that you also see that as a way of making sure our veterans are taken care of. Oh, Stephen, I am so excited you are here, boy. I really am. I'm so
well,
blessed.
I'm just glad you guys had me again. I thank you for all the platform because it just gives us another chance to reach out to more veterans. Because this
Exactly.
right here, a lot of us when we get in our heads, we lock ourselves down. We don't leave the room. Sometimes the television is the only outreach we see, or maybe the internet. So I always pray before I do any podcasts or anything that if there's just one veteran out there that needs to hear this, then I pray it finds that one. And I'll tell you a story about that afterwards if I play this song.
Stephen,
Good for you.
may I ask a favor? Can I
Well,
give
Yes,
you
sir.
your intro for Keep On? If I could, it would make me so proud to
Oh,
be able to
yeah.
give you an intro.
Yeah,
All
I
right,
love
ladies
that,
and
man. Thanks,
gentlemen,
buddy.
we've got Stephen Cochran here, ready to play his newest single. Came out a few months ago. Ready to fucking play for you. It's called Keep On. And you need to keep on listening because this one right here has a big message.
Thanks, Corporal Jackson. I know who I was. That's not who I am. I know how I got here, but this was not my plan. So I keep on lying. Yeah, to myself. Well, y'all see me hurting. Love me just the same. I'm not the same person, but I answer to my name. I keep on lying. Yeah, to myself.
We lost you there, Stephen. Stephen, we lost your earpiece. Your earpiece. Can you hear us? We can't hear you. We can't hear you at all. It's muted. Why is it muted? There. You muted yourself is what it's telling us. You have to unmute yourself, Stephen. Can you hear us? Granny's frozen too. All right. I'll turn off banners. See if that'll help. Can you hear us, Stephen? You're going to have to unmute yourself, Stephen, because we can't unmute you. Okay, we're having technical difficulties. Bradley, can you hear anything?
I can, and I can speak. I can hear everything.
Okay. It's not allowing me to unmute Stephen because he muted himself when he touched his earbud.
I think it might have died if it's an AirPod. When it dies, it goes into mute, and that's probably what the problem is.
Oh, okay. See, I don't have any Apple products, so I wouldn't know that.
Neither do I, but I have a degree in IT, so
Hello?
I know just enough.
Hey,
There he
we
is.
got
He's
volume.
back.
Yes, so you're back. We got you now. Can you hear us, Stephen? Wait, you're muted again. There you go. Say
Sorry
something.
about that, Stephen. You got us? You hear us?
Can you hear us, Stephen? We're good. We can hear you.
Yes.
You're unmuted.
I can't hear anything.
You can't hear anything?
Everything was going through his earpods or his AirPods, so it might not be going through his speakers.
Okay. Can you hear us?
Can you hear me now?
Oh,
Now I
yeah,
can.
we hear you
Yeah.
now there, bud.
There we go.
I think everything's linked to your AirPods, and when they died or they quit
Yep.
out on you, everything died.
My wife I don't know anything about technology. Like literally just put me in a woods
That's
with a
my
stick.
wife is standing next to me with a hand up
And-
going, I don't either.
Yeah, no, I will go live in the woods with a stick and be
Yep.
happy, is content. I'll make a guitar out of it. This bullshit, I hate it. Like I hate all of it.
You're not alone,
So
trust me.
I don't even use in-ears on stage because it disconnects me from like the crowd and my band.
Yep.
I still use monitors.
There's a
floor
feeling.
monitors.
There's a feeling in a concert. You need to feel it and hear it.
Right, exactly. And I hate it. Like me and my band can't even connect when we're on stage. A lot of the guys that are in my band won't even wear in-ears because we'll need to you want me to just start over?
Go ahead.
Brother, you take your time, relax. We are waiting on Granny to jump back in, but if you want to play for the crowd that's listening and watching, please do it. Restart the
Back to
song.
solo
You do
mode.
you.
Yep. Here you go, Stephen.
Know who I was. That's not who I am. I know how I got here. This was not my plan. So keep on lying. Yeah, to myself. Y'all see me hurting. Love me just the same. Not the same person, but I answer to my name. I keep on lying. Yeah, to myself. Yeah, I keep lying, but don't you see? And I'm not the man you thought I was, but I was not supposed to be who I am. But just understand, this is me. And I can't stop lying. Yeah, to myself. Made more promises than I could ever keep. I don't know why, but I still got these rings and I keep on lying. Yeah, to myself. I guess I do lonely more than I do not. Kill my pain at closing time with one more shot. Keep on lying. Yeah, to myself. Yeah, I keep lying, but don't you see that I'm not the man you thought I was, but I was not supposed to be who I am. Just understand, yeah, this is me. Well, they've taken us for granted, yeah, now we're on our own. Well, they said that we'd come back, this is not our home. Sure don't feel like home, so I keep on lying. Yeah, to myself. Oh, I keep on lying. I keep lying, but don't you see that I'm not the man you thought I was, but I was not supposed to be who I am. But just understand, yeah, this is me, and I can't stop lying. To myself.
Oh my God, that is gorgeous, brother. gorgeous.
Oh my goodness.
Gorgeous.
Thank you.
Oh, I am so thank you.
Sorry
No.
about the technical difficulties.
Yeah, those were more
Oh.
on our side and your side, but we'll
Yeah.
take the blame on that one. I'm sure Granny will fucking agree with me on this one.
Oh, I'll take the blame because I don't know. My internet went completely off just at the same time that you took out that earpiece, and it's so I'm on
It
my
was-
phone. So
It was
I
the
apologize.
CIA and the FBI.
CIA
Shut
bastard.
it down.
We're coming for you.
Shut it down. They know it. They know we're saving lives out here. It's just more people
Oh,
that are
that's
VA.
exactly it.
The VA don't want to
Yellow
pay us.
Dog, can I ask some questions about that song?
The VA don't want to pay us. I'm just kidding.
No, they don't. They want to
They
take
don't.
money away in
They really
2024.
don't.
Let's not get into that conversation. That'll be an hour long.
It's a joke, but it's not a joke. We're
Oh,
doing
let
something
me
to
tell you,
ourselves
yeah.
that the VA can't do. So we're out here saving lives, and they don't want that. So,
Double Dog, can I ask you a couple of questions about that? Now, I've noticed some connections. I listened to about half of your discography in the last day.
awesome.
I've seen some connections with meaning and feeling between your single here and American Loser and a few others. My question, I guess, is keep on is, oh wow. As somebody, and I've shared this with people before, somebody that's done some stupid things in the past and tried to do some stupid things in the past, and thankfully nothing bad happened. I keep on lying. That line, as a veteran, as a combat veteran, as a Marine, as a hard charging, fuck you, I'm gonna beat your ass and ask questions later guy. That, when I first heard it today, I listened to the song this morning, and when I heard that, I bawled my fucking eyes out. Now, to me, that means one thing. What is it that it mean to you when you wrote it?
Well, man, the thing is, I'm not special. Like, that's the thing is that I've been given a gift. I feel like God gave me a gift to be able to put words to music, and I feel like that music is made by God so that we can help ourselves heal through it. And I've been through things that hopefully I can put into song that will help other people that are going through it. I feel like that's the only reason I go through shit, is so that I can put it into a song, help people out. I'm pretty sure the meaning that you got from it's the same meaning that I have. When we wrote it, the whole lie to yourself is when you come home, you think one day you're going to be the person you were before combat, and you're never going to be that person again. Like, you'll lie to yourself every day to tell yourself, hey man, I'm going to get back there. I'm better. I'm really close. And I jokingly tell this story sometimes, that we all have the moment where we stop talking to our friends at home, because you have these buddies you grew up with. You have these friends, the family members that have known you since birth. And, like you were talking earlier, is that you have to find humor in combat or you'll go crazy. And so we find humor in things that other people don't find funny. And I always say it's the moment where you stop talking, because you're at home and you're telling some story that you and your buddies that served together thought was hilarious. Everybody laughed at it. Every time you told a story to a veteran,
you say that back here in the real world,
you tell it to your buddies,
jail.
And they look at you like, oh my God, what is wrong with you? And you go, mental note, I'm not going to tell these stories to these guys anymore. But guess what? This is your new reality now. This is where you live. You don't live in the barracks with your guys where you're getting therapy every day because you're talking about it. You're now here, and you're a special butterfly, and now you can't talk to anybody about the shit that's bothering you because you don't want it to bother them.
Exactly.
So, part of the oath that we take is not just to serve, but it's to serve and sacrifice. And the sacrifice sometimes even means our minds, and whether it be that we don't bring it home and spread that to our children, our wives, our family, our friends, that's what we do. We eat it up. We eat
Yep.
it inside, and we lie to ourselves every day and say that we're going to be the same person we were. But the thing is that we've got to be comfortable with who we are now. Realize that this is who God made us to be. We were put here to do this. And you know what? I'm thankful for men and women like us, because if there wasn't, we'd all be speaking a different language. We would be in a soup line. I'm not saying that that's not coming.
Well,
I'm just saying right now we're not doing it. We're not doing it right now.
Devil Dog, we are not bringing up politics right now. My God, if you bring it up, it's going to be a longer show than you're willing to fucking do. I promise you.
Listen. I think politics are silly. There's only two the only two parties exist in our minds. They think I was the national spokesman for Veterans Affairs for many years, and I got to spend a lot of time in DC around politicians, and they think that we're silly because they'll get on television and argue with each other and look like they're about to fist fight each other, and then that night they're drinking and laughing. They don't represent us. If you want change starts at your local area. Start voting for your local politicians. I don't give a shit if it's Democrat, Republican, Libertarian. Vote for your local people. Make your change at home. It'll spread up to the bullshit. Those rich men north of Richmond or whatever up there will get spread to them. So, and that's only politics. That's only politics.
Now you brought it up. I have to ask that song. Your personal opinion. We're not going to bring up the song or break it down. What was your opinion when you first heard it? The first time you ever heard it as an artist. Now, not as a listener, but as an artist. What did you think?
I thought, wow, where's that voice been at? Like, that's a voice that, we're watching country music do some really cool stuff right now. It's going back to a lot of the traditional sounds that we've heard from for a long time. Country music had to move into like Americana. You call it traditional country. They moved it to Americana, and you're starting to see it with, come back with the, the Lainey Wilsons and stuff like that. You're seeing a lot of the traditional sound come back. And so it's really cool that you can have all these different sounds inside one genre. We're not saying that, there's not a place for what they call bro country or whatever. It's all still there. We can all just exist in this one genre now. And when I heard his voice, I thought, man, it's a kid from Eastern Kentucky. It sounded like that old holler music that I grew up hearing my ancestors play and sing. And so I was excited for that. And then I started listening to the words, and, there's a lot of stuff in there that I think whether you consider yourself right or left or down the middle, which, in my traveling and touring, I don't see many people that are the far, far right or the far, far left. Everybody that I meet is pretty much right down the middle. They just want to live and be left alone and not deal with bullshit. One of my favorite sayings is, I just want to smoke weed and carry a Glock to my best gay friend's wedding. Like, that's, if we all just lived by that, I think we'd be good. I think everybody's good with that, right? So I know most veterans are. It's like, I heard the song, and I think there was a lot of things in there that normal, everyday Americans can understand and relate to. When he came out and even, talked about his political standings, and there was the right trying to